The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...
Hello again, everyone. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of showing you videos of harassment and silly things that have been aimed at us in front of our house, I'm going to show you some of the veiled and not so veiled threatening comments on social media, some of the lies and the rumors that are spread about us on social media. So this is going to be fun. And these posts were given to me anonymously, and I'm going to post just a small number of them right now. I plan on doing quite a few videos like this. So if you would like to, those of you watching, to have me respond to some social media posts, go ahead and send them my way, and maybe I'll choose those to put into my future videos. So I hope you guys enjoy this and kind of get an idea of what me and my family have been going through. Not only is all this silliness happen in front of our house, they're using social media to help spread their lies and rumors and even threats towards us. So let's get into the first post, and then we'll do a little bit of talking about it. Some may say that this is Mr. Thurston joking, but I've never met Jeremy Thurston, never talked to him, and didn't know anything about him until this incident. These comments were made in a thread talking about me and my family, and he was unmistakably speaking about visiting us. This led to me making what I'm pretty sure was our second police report. He's saying publicly that he's coming over to visit us, and you don't need bail money unless you plan on doing something you're going to get arrested for. I was like, so what does he think he's going to do to us? Violence, arson, vandalism? Because we don't know this person, and these comments came out of the blue. I wanted law enforcement to be aware of Jeremy Thurston and his comments. Maybe they could prevent whatever he was planning, or at least inform him that they had seen the comments. You know, some people have made a lot of noise about us walking around outside in our property armed, which, by the way, is not illegal. Contrary to persistent rumor, we've never pointed a weapon in the direction of the red shed nor at anyone off of our property, directly or indirectly. If we had, we would have been arrested for it. And law enforcement has been called out to question us many times, just as we called law enforcement to question others, because this has not been a one-way issue. And it was comments like this, and there have been many others, some much worse than this, that caused us to fear for our safety and property. I was rightfully concerned if this guy or any of the others who have made threats did come over and we ended up having to defend ourselves. I wanted to take every precaution I could think of for everyone's safety. It appeared to me that he thought about this, and obviously he had a plan, whatever it might be. I took it seriously. I mean, how can you not? Just like most everyone else, I have a family I love, and I will protect them in our home. I don't underestimate anybody. And again, I don't know the man, but these comments are very direct and clear. So I understood these comments from Jeremy Thurston as posing a direct threat and danger to my family. And then you have one of the biggest keyboard warriors in Saltillo, Jeff Young, trying to make a joke out of it.
Motion accepted at the front entrance.
Threats against my family, myself, and our home are not a joke, Mr. Young. Apparently, to a small handful of people, the right to be secure in one's home is not important and can be disregarded. If those homeowners complain about harassment from a bar, the handful of people like to visit, just like what happened to us. So, I was raised to think differently and believe that one's home is sacrosanct. Businesses absolutely have the right to exist and do business, but they do not have the right to interfere with the peaceful enjoyment of one's home. I've said it many times, and it bears repeating because it's important. If we had been treated with simple common courtesy and respected as neighbors living 150 feet away, if the owners and management of the shed had respected the fact that they had neighbors living in their home just across the street, exactly none of this ever would have happened. No normal establishment in this country, even ones that serve alcohol, would allow what happened at the shed on a regular basis. Yet some feel that the shed being allowed to operate as a honky tonk roadhouse is more important than our right to the quiet and peaceful enjoyment of our home. This is a wrong and shameful way to think. Anyway, according to the police report, law enforcement believes the situation is resolved. We hope it is, because when we chose Saltillo as a place to make our home and retirement, we never expected to be the target of threats from strangers who felt their right to visit a rowdy bar is more important than our right to live peacefully in our home. Oh wow, look at this one. Jeez. Well, you can try to get us gone all you want. It won't work. We aren't going anywhere. This is our home. But yeah, I know there's a group of people in this area who have tried and are still trying to get rid of us any way they can. Let's see, this group has tried threats, harassment, intimidation, a few even going so far as to try to set off a pipe bomb on my property. Um, they've tried to weaponize racism against us, religion against us. They lie about us, start rumors about us, call us names and racial slurs. It just never ends. And it all started when we filed a complaint against an out of control bar across the street. But I'll give you an A for effort, though. You guys sure put a lot of time and energy into trying to get rid of us. But sure, go ahead, call WBBJ. See how that turns out for you. We have the truth. All your group has is lies, rumors, disgusting behavior, and name calling. I have no problem at all talking to WBBJ or any news agency for that matter. But see, though, I like Saltillo. There's good people here, and the story of what your group is doing to us might very well ruin things for the good people. I don't know if Saltillo would ever recover. So go ahead, push that button if you feel you must. Just remember, you did it to yourselves. And do you know how I know there's good people here and why I like Saltillo? I'll tell you, because some have actually taken the time and the step of pulling into our driveway like normal neighbors, during the day, gotten out of their cars and introduced themselves. They've asked us about our version of events, about our yard displays, and we've had normal conversations about it. As we learned about each other, and we've even invited some inside for snacks and refreshments, and some have supported us after learning about what's going on, and some have said they disagree with how we've responded, but understand, and some just disagree. And we've all walked away with a better understanding of each other and mutual respect. No fear, threats, harassment, or none of the stuff your group's trying to do to us. And that's the Saltillo my wife and I have come to love. And those are, to us, the good people. The ones who have never spoken to us or put themselves in our shoes but feel the need to post threats, harass us, shout vile things, such as the man who yelled at my wife, fuck you, nigger, go back to where you came from, or the other guy who yelled, keep on, we're coming for you, or the ones like you who are trying to think of ways to get us gone. Well, they're bad. And the one that happened the most recently, which I'd like to let those folks know, yeah, we got it on video. You pull in front of our yard, start an argument, and then you call my wife an Arab, tell her you're going to take her out and shove her dog up her ass. So, I mean, it's all just stuff we have to deal with. And like I said, I'll just tell you, you're not going to get us gone. We're here. This is our home. Boy, this one is like a walking contradiction. Yeah, you must have a lot of problems driving in the city with all those signs with words and symbols, the lights, people, and noise. And please don't go to Vegas. Your car will probably look like a crushed soda can by the time you leave if you're that easily distracted. And the mayor can't make us take any of that stuff down. There's this thing called the First Amendment. So good try. But then you say if your neighbor doesn't like what goes on, then oh well, get over it. So you can do what you want But since you don't like what I do, you want someone to force me to stop or to run in my yard and tear it down. You sound like a real swell neighbor. And you basically say, I'm going to do what I want and run amok. But if you do anything I don't like, then I want to destroy your stuff. And from this post, I get the impression that you run your business without a lot of respect for your neighbors. Is that the case? I doubt it, but let's see. I'm not positive, but it appears you have close residential neighbors, maybe a little farther than we are from the shed, but not too much farther. The internet says your cafe, the Stockyard Cafe, is open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 6 a.m. until 2 on Saturday and closed on Sunday. So from that alone, I don't believe you or your customers would be keeping your neighbors awake until the early morning hours with loud music and other loud noises, shouting, yelling, fighting, etc. But, if you did and your neighbors say, hey, we can hear you and all the noise inside our house, would you really just not care? Or would you respond like a responsible business owner and put a stop to it out of respect for your neighbor? Do you even have bands or a sound system? And if you do you play it so loud that your neighbors can hear it inside their homes with their doors and windows closed? And then if they complain, do you tell them, oh, well, get over it? Or if you did, would you put a stop to that behavior and be a responsible business owner and show respect for your neighbors? Do you allow your customers to fight in the parking lot, play ridiculously loud music from their vehicles' sound systems, or urinate in open view of your neighbors, or do drugs in your parking lot? I doubt your customers actually do any of that, but if they did, would you honestly tell your neighbors, oh, well, get over it? Or would you act like a responsible business owner and insist that those customers stop their behavior and call the police on the ones who didn't and tell those customers they cannot come back out of respect for your neighbors in the neighborhood? If your answer to those questions is a former, then you are part of the problem and there's no helping you. But I bet your answer to those questions are the latter, and I bet you would act responsibly and be respectful of your neighbors and put a stop to those actions because they're ridiculous. And unlike our neighbors at the shed, who instead of trying to be good neighbors and act responsibly, they had T-shirts made up and sold them in their bar that said "fuck the neighbors," meaning us. That, Miss Gorney, is reprehensible, and no one should have to put up with that in their home, and no normal person would. If a business obeys the ordinances and laws and controls their customers and property and doesn't continuously cause disturbances, awesome. We wouldn't have any problems, but that's not what has happened. And, I'll end with this. I would bet you are a responsible business owner and probably a good person in general. But you posted this publicly, basically advocating for someone to trespass onto my property and tear my stuff down. All criminal acts that have the potential to lead to violence. What if someone had listened to you? My neighbors have their grandkids outside playing quite a bit. Heck, even the bar across the street has or had customers, not to mention us, the family who lives in this home, all innocent people who could have been put in danger and harmed by your flippant post. You claim the displays in our yard are a hazard because they are distracting. So your solution is to put the thought into someone's head to be an actual direct hazard to us and everyone around us. Think about that. On Nathan Reeves' post, quite a bit to unpack here. This is the puzzling thing about this person. He's a pastor at a local church and claims to be a man of high moral integrity. I personally find what this guy does and says to be unbelievable. I'm a Methodist, and never in my life have I come across a preacher or pastor who to me appears so corrupt and deceiving as Nathan Reeves. He will be in a few more of my upcoming videos too. So, how is a pastor going to try and shame another person just because that person accompanies my wife while she tries to get signatures? Why is he trying to single them out for the completely innocent act of being seen in public with my wife.
At the front entrance.
Is he hoping this person starts to receive the same treatment from some people in this area that we get? Is he trying to pressure this person into not being associated with us anymore? I mean, Mr. Reeves, if you don't like us, fine. But don't try to bring your hate and discontent to innocent people just because they are seen with one of us. Through your words and actions, you are doing a real stand-up job of representing God, in my opinion. And I hope you get my sarcasm. And you know, when you talk about the signage in my yard, at least get it right. There are plenty of pictures all over the place, and on social media you can reference. This signage you talk about is our recent experience in this town. It is our truth of how you and some others have treated us. Now let's get to your completely deceitful statement, not to mention verbally attacking board members to the point the law had to intervene. You know this is a deceitful statement, as you were involved in it. You know the law, as you claim, did not intervene. Why are you not being truthful? But don't take my word for it, though. Here, I'm going to show you what Emily Mitchell posted about the same incident. She is one of your allies, isn't she? She was involved in this incident, too. She may have told things from her point of view, which is fine, but she wasn't blatantly deceitful about the facts of what happened like you were. From the last sentence of the first part of her post, and the police were not called. You said, however, to the point the law had to intervene. How can the law intervene if they were not called? Kathy Smith called her daughter after the fact. That's not the law having to intervene. And before we move on, I just want to throw in here, you know, the shed has had 3 private events since they've closed. All 3 of them have turned into drunken messes when the sun goes down. Loud music, loud people there. We've between the 3 events, we've witnessed people that shouldn't be driving. Even saw someone that was so drunk they had to be carried out. And Emily Mitchell was responsible for one of these events that turned loud and had obnoxious drunks and things like that. So, you know, I just wanted to throw that in there about Emily Mitchell's post before we moved on. Why is a pastor who is also an alderman being deceitful about an event? Then you don't even bring up the part you played yourself. You were involved. You threatened my family, the sanctity of our home, and our right to the peaceful enjoyment of our home with your church. You said you would have some type of church function at the Red Shed, and there is nothing we could do about it. Does your congregation and church know you basically want to use them as a weapon in your petty little hatred of us? Oh, and my wife called you fake, which you are. In my opinion, you are fake. Nobody did anything wrong. Nobody broke any laws. Yet you're trying to make this out to be something it wasn't. And why are you so worried about my yard? My yard is none of your business. It's mine. And there is nothing you can do about my yard to change it. Worry about your own problems. Gauging from the visitors I get here at my house looking for you, your family, you should have plenty to worry about besides my yard. I know you used to live here, but that was a long time ago. Update your address. I'm tired of telling them that he, she, they, them don't live here anymore. Sorry. And, you know, the rest is just crap and nonsense. We aren't the ones driving by people's houses, yelling, honking, revving our engines, calling their families names, racial slurs, threatening them or dumping trash. That's happening to us. And some in town want to act like fools and talk about us and spread their lies and rumors all day long. And just as we would physically defend ourselves if threatened with physical violence, we will verbally defend ourselves when people try to spread lies and rumors about us. And you might get your feelings hurt. And, you know, we have nothing to do with any business closing in Saltillo. That's up to the business and has nothing to do with us. My guess is it may have more to do with family disputes and possibly a patriarch who grew exasperated with his children and the situations they caused, especially after one of the children got a DUI after drinking at and then driving away from the business in question. And I'll tell you one thing right now. Freedom of religion is very important to us. Me and my wife have a combined 40 years protecting that very thing, along with the other rights and freedoms in the Bill of Rights. We will never target a church. As a matter of fact, we will be any church's biggest ally if anyone ever does go after them. You know, God help anyone who attacks a church or freedom of religion, because we will stand beside them and fight to the death to protect them. We have put our money where our mouths are for a combined 40 years, doing just that. Can you say the same? Or do you just use the church for your own gain? You know, for a pastor to even make a comment such as yours just boggles my mind. And, you know, I don't know what your problem is with us or why you even have one to begin with. You don't know us. I can't remember ever exchanging even one sentence with you other than you telling me you used to live in my house and me replying, yes, it's a nice house. So what is it with you? Why are you targeting us constantly? And not only are you trying to be a bully to us, people you don't even know, but you're trying to weaponize your congregation and the town against us. Maybe you need to open that book you talk about on Sundays and read it again. You're supposed to be a pastor. You should start acting like one. Here's another example of someone in Saltillo who just lies, slanders, and tries to spread rumors. This is a pretty disgusting one too. What Miss Hill claims here flatly never happened. Nothing resemble it ever happened, nor would it ever happen. This is just another attempt to manufacture backlash against us with a lie. I remember this event. A lady was across the street from us for like a week, sitting at a little table she set up or dancing around, trying to get people to stop and talk to her or something. And every time we'd be in our front yard, she would constantly bother us and generally just be annoying. I don't know why the owners of the Red Shed property had her over there or allowed her to do whatever she was doing. I just chalked it up as another intimidation tactic by the bar. But I do know a reporter from the Savannah Courier talked to her for quite some time. I don't think Dorothy Hill's story is going to match the Courier's. I mean, this event was even briefly talked about in a Courier's article about us. So I would imagine something this egregious would have made that article. I can tell you right now it's a blatant lie. And, you know, I don't have a problem with anyone's life choices, who they love, date, or marry, and neither does my wife. That is their personal business and has no bearing on how I decide to treat a person or the amount of respect I give them. I have friends, family, and I've served with members of the LGBTQ community. I have never in my life disrespected or treated someone badly just because of their personal decisions about their lifestyle. And another thing, please tell me how I could possibly interfere in another person's real estate transaction. What you're saying doesn't even make sense. I mean, I bought a few houses in my time, and the purchase isn't a debate or a decision that needs approval from anybody except the person selling the property. I mean, you don't go to a city council meeting and the town vote on it. So this lie is just so stupid and unbelievable. I mean, you should be ashamed of yourself, but you won't be. You know, I guess keyboard warriors are going to keyboard, right? Drew Marchbanks. I'm not surprised. He is another one of the keyboard warriors here in town. Wait, let me read this again, because the only thing that is really clear is he thinks my wife doesn't belong here. I mean, why? Because she isn't white? What are you trying to say? Let's take this point by point. First, a reason she is here. Mr. Marchbanks, we don't need to explain anything to you, so this isn't for you, but for everyone else. We like the politics of Tennessee, the low cost of living, and we wanted to find a nice, small, quiet town to retire to. You know, a place after a strenuous 20-year Navy career we could peacefully live, be left alone, and mind our own business. Plus, we love the house, so here we are in Saltillo. You know, yes, the bar ruined most of that, but that's okay. Next point. She's acted the way she has since she has been here. Well, I bet you didn't even know we existed until the bar completely shattered our nice and quiet, peaceful life. So how is someone supposed to act when they are threatened, harassed, and constantly lied about nonstop, basically, because they didn't want to hear drunks and loud music in their house 4 days every week? Next point. I seen her not long ago. That might have been when she brought sodas out to the work crew that was hanging the cable in our area. I believe you're employed by the company that was doing that work. If that's not correct, then I have no idea where you may have seen my wife. Next point. She just really doesn't seem like she belongs here. Okay, so you appear to be basing the statement that, in your opinion, she doesn't seem like she belongs here on her appearance. I mean, why? Because she isn't white, but rather she is brown? Was she not dressed well enough for Saltillo? I mean, does she wear too much turquoise jewelry? I mean, what are you trying to say? What about how my wife looks makes her not belong here in Saltillo? Just say what you want to say, man. And then, kind of up to something. Again, you're basing this off of how she looks. What exact part of how my wife looks gives you the reason to comment that she would be up to something? Are you trying to start a new rumor or defame her character?
Motion detected
What?
at front entrance.
Get others to not like her or be suspicious of her because of how she looks? I mean, this post just makes no sense. But it's Drew Marchbanks, so I don't. It's kind of what I expected, I guess. Oh, I get it. A surprise shit pie. Funny. Except, no, I don't. And no, it isn't. Are you trying to be racial with this because of my daughter, who is black? Or are you trying to say someone should poison us? Yeah, I've seen the movie. I know the story. Way ahead of you, though. I know the depths people like you would go. We aren't dumb enough to take food or anything really from people in this area who we don't know and trust. We've even gone so far as to take steps to protect our dog. As I wouldn't put it past some of you fine folks to try and poison or hurt him. And hate to take the wind out of your sails, but your idea sucks. It won't work. But please keep posting your sick and nasty comments though if it makes you feel better. It's I guess it's nice to know that we have a fan club in town. So I appreciate it. So there you go. That's just a small taste of what some of the keyboard warriors have to say about us. No pun intended. And I'll probably do quite a few more videos like this because we got a lot of sickening social media posts from fine, upstanding citizens. And I also want to make something abundantly clear. We are not moving. Nothing you do will get us to leave. And we will defend ourselves if you come to our home with the intent to harm us. So please don't do it, especially over idiotic lies and rumors. And for those that we've met and had honest conversations with, and those we've befriended and support us, those who've expressed their disagreements, but also shown respect and the ability to agree to disagree on some things, but still, show each other respect and common courtesy. Thank you. And you're good, reasonable people who know what it means to act like adults. And for those who've never spoken to us, but believe it is their right to lie about us, threaten and harass us, and act any way they feel at the moment towards us because they've decided they don't like us without ever having even met us. In other words, those who've been behaving like, obnoxious little children, go piss up a rope, man. And, thanks for watching. And I'm going to have a lot of videos. These are going to be coming in, pretty frequently. So stay tuned and watch all the chaos. And again, if you're come across any social media posts you want me to respond to, send them my way. And if you're kind of sad that the post you gave me didn't make it into this video, bear with me. I'm going to be making more of these, so I'm sure yours will come up in our future videos. Again, thanks for watching, and check back to my channel frequently for more videos.